Right.
And what happened was that it built the belief of the people. So sorry to interject that, but that's awesome.
No, you're good. You're good. I have kids coming in. Okay. Come down. Go ahead. We'll get them later. Sorry. That's the joys of Plexus, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start recording. I actually already did. But okay, so welcome to our Tuesday night call. We have Tim and Michelle Thomas here to share with us. They're going to share their story of how they were introduced to Plexus and hopefully a little bit of what it's meant to them as far as financially and just personal growth wise and everything in between. So we're excited to hear what you guys have to say for us. I'm going to mute everyone out so we don't have a ton of background noise. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do. Here we go. All right, guys, take it away.
Okay, can you?
Oh, hang on.
We got it, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so first of all, thank you guys for doing this and for your teams. We're excited. We love it, and we're just excited to be on.
Can I just say something real quick that I love the Plexus products. We have the most amazing Plexus product. We have the most amazing products out there. I just posted on Facebook a few minutes ago that I am so thankful that we have the Ease product because, you know, I've been taking it for now 3.5 years or something like that. And sometimes you forget how great it is because I rarely ever miss it. But while we were in Dallas, we actually ran out and we don't have it here yet. We had forgotten to order. So all day today I've been limping around because I had surgery on my knee years back for a torn ACL. And I forget that I have that pain there. And all of a sudden, when you don't have Ease, it's there.
Yes.
Same thing happened while we were in Hawaii. So I know it's not just a fluke because every time that I don't have my Ease products, my knee starts to flare up and hurt. So we have just the best, most amazing products all around. So I just wanted to say that real quick because while we're going to talk about the business and everything that's happened for us, it all starts right there. We have the best products.
Yeah.
They actually work and they get results.
And that's really a segue. I mean, in November 28th will be my 4-year anniversary with Plexus. For 4 years, I have done Plexus. And it's almost surreal. Like, I cannot believe we've been doing this for 4 years. We've been full-time in it for 3 years. 3 years, neither one of us had a job. This is it. I mean, this is what we do. I mean, this is the hardest we work, you know, is getting on the phone to inspire people, bring new people into the business. It's like a dream we never dreamed because we really never dreamed of network marketing being like our gig. And so it is like, I believe that the Plexus opportunity is set up to retire people. If people understood what this potential is, they would run with it. They would create urgency and they would run with it. The problem is, here's the problem. The problem is that people don't understand what they have. They don't understand the potential and they don't have the belief, and the belief is in 4 different areas, and you have to have that belief to run with your Plexus business. The 4 areas, and I know I'm supposed to be telling our testimony, I'll get there, but right? The 4 areas are belief in the company. You have to have belief in this company. If you don't have belief if you don't have belief in one of these 4 areas, it will hinder your Plexus business. It will stop you in your tracks and you will not be able to build a successful business like you want. So you have to have belief in the business, in the company. So Plexus Worldwide. You have to have belief in network marketing. You know, a lot of people come into Plexus, they've never done network marketing before, and they're scared to talk to people, or they feel afraid of what people are going to think. You need to build your belief in network marketing and start listening to testimonies about people that have become successful so you are excited about this industry, because this industry is amazing. So network marketing, you have to have belief in the products. You have to have belief in what we are promoting. You guys, I'm all about the business. Like, show me the numbers. I love to talk about the business. I very rarely get customers because I just turn everyone into ambassadors. I mean, it's like,
you did get 3 last month.
I did get 3 new customers last month, but I'm just saying, like, you have to have belief in the products. So you have to, that's the third, is you have to have belief in the products. And then 4th is that you have to have belief in yourself. And, there's probably, if any of you are struggling, there's probably one of those core pillars that you're struggling in. Maybe you lack some belief in yourself. Maybe you lack some belief in the company. Maybe you lack belief in network marketing. And I'll tell you that that's your homework after this call, is that whatever area you are struggling in, go dig. Dig for testimonies. Dig for examples of success. Get your belief up to here so that there is no excuses. You have no excuses.
And that's kind of the reason why I started off this call by just talking about our products, because I want people to have their belief there. You have to be centered. You have to be grounded. And if you're missing any belief in any area, you're gonna struggle. But I really feel like you've got to have your belief in our products. And there may be some people on here who got on this call before we got started, and they're kind of maybe waning on their belief on our products. And I just want to sit here and tell you, we have the best products. We have the best health products that there are. And to do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And they change lives. And so we'll move on here, but belief is a big thing. Let's tell our story in 2 minutes, and then get on to the good stuff.
Get on the good stuff. Okay, 4 years ago, I was a stay-at-home mom. Tim was making enough money to pay the bills, but as most people know, living on one income, having 3 kids, it's difficult. And so I was at home because we felt like God had told us that that's where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be at home with my babies. They aren't really babies anymore. My youngest is 10. I have a 10, 12, and a 15-year-old. So they're not really babies anymore, but I believe at this point in their life, this is when they need their parents around. That's the emotional time, So anyways, we believe that that's where I was supposed to be. I do say, though, that I was a bad stay-at-home mom because I was raised by a single mom that worked 3 jobs. Like, she did whatever it took to make ends meet. And so I struggled because Tim was providing and everything was good, but I just, the kids wanted to play sports. Oh, 2 minutes. I'm supposed to be speeding it up. Okay. The kids wanted to play sports. The kids wanted, and I struggled because we were so tight. And so I really wanted to do something to make some extra money, but I had told my sponsor, my friend, Sonia Dudley, in case anyone of you guys know or have watched her videos, she had presented me with Plexus for months. And I told her no. I actually tried the products and told her they did not work. I told her the products didn't work. And the reason why I said that they didn't work is because I was a stay-at-home mom. I could not see how I was going to justify spending $100 a month on supplements for health for me. So here's what I tell people. I mean, this is just because it's training and inspiration. Okay, everybody, anyone that gives you an objection or tells you something, it's just an excuse. It's just because the timing isn't right, or you've not presented them with enough evidence that they can go all in. I tried the products, told her they didn't work. I told her no for months. She talked to me about Plexus all the time. I almost blocked her on Facebook because I was so annoyed that she shared constantly on Facebook. I never posted on Facebook before Plexus. I was like a Facebook stalker, but I just never felt like I had anything of value to say. And so I just did not say anything on Facebook before I started Plexus. So months into it, though, this is what happened. My friend, who I had been, mocking and everything else, not really mocking, but you know what I'm saying. I had been skeptical. My friend was able to quit her full-time job and stay at home with her kids and replace her income with Plexus. Here I was not willing to jump on that, but I was stressing financially, and I was a stay-at-home mom. And so something clicked. That was the timing for me. I'm like, I have to give it a try. So I called Tim. My sister called me, thinking we were going to do this together. I called Tim, and I'm like, Tim, do you think I can do this? And he said, I think you can, but you do have to make $50 a month. And so and I think that's like a tip for success too. I mean, actually setting a goal right away. Like I knew I had to make enough money to pay for my products. Well, $50 is going to pay for half of my products. I knew I had to make half of my products.
We had no idea what the compensation plan was actually like. So to us, to make $50 a month in network marketing sounded like a big deal because we didn't really know of anybody who made money in network marketing other than a couple of people we'd heard of. So like, you know, it was sounded like $50 was a huge goal. So she went to work. She actually really went to work to try to make this $50. We didn't realize how making $50 in Plexus was actually pretty easy.
I truly earned while I learned. I did not wait until I had a perfect testimony. I did not wait until all the chips fell into alignment. I seriously, I just from day one, even before I even got the products in, you're throwing me off with that. He keeps telling me to speed up. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Anyways, okay, so I will tell you the Indians are playing tonight. And so we're like on a time crunch because it's like World Series. And so Tim's like, we got to get to the World Series. Anyways, okay, so I'm supposed to talk fast. What was I even saying now? I can't even remember.
I don't know. You went on a tangent.
Okay, I went on a tangent. Anyways, the bottom line is that I did not wait until I had the perfect testimony. I don't believe that a testimony can define your success, you know, because I've barely lost 10 pounds on a good day. I don't even hardly talk about my testimony because, I mean, my testimony is basically I don't have sugar cravings anymore. You know, sometimes like I'll want some chocolate just because I know it tastes good, but it's like it doesn't control me like it did. I mean, that's my testimony. That's not a testimony that should take someone to diamond. I mean, here's the thing. We've had people that have lost 100 pounds with Plexus and they couldn't build a business. So your testimony does not define your success. Like 100% hands down, it doesn't, because, we have an Emerald ambassador underneath of us that's never lost 1 pound, but she's been able to get off the antidepressants and she doesn't have any more IBS symptoms. So if you're letting yourself stop yourself because you don't feel like you have the perfect testimony, you work on what you can work on, eat healthy, you know, exercise, do what you know to do. But at the end of the day, that doesn't define you.
Okay. And So Michelle went to Emerald in 1 year.
Yeah.
Working the business, just being very consistent with it every single day. I was kind of just following along at first, and I started to get involved a little bit more as I started to see it was real and legit. I got on the products, which really, really made me believe. And literally within a year, Michelle was able to go to Emerald, and then I was able to quit my job after that 1 year. And talk about a life-changing experience. How quickly things can change when you put your heart and your mind to something, especially when it is set up for people to be successful. And that's the truth, and that's really what we need to, where we want to go with this, with what Plexus is. You are set up to be successful. Now, you may not fully believe it yet, so that might be holding you back. You may not have tapped into some of the ideas and the thinking that you have so far to be able to make that happen for yourself. But the reality is if there's anything in the world, any network marketing company or any company for that matter that's set up to make you successful, Plexus is it.
Yes.
Okay? So what we want to get to is the fact that we were able to take some things that we already knew and grow. We were able to take some things that we had learned in our life up and coming and make it be a part of our business. One of those things was being successful and setting goals and just going for those goals. That was a very simple thing that worked.
I'm a very routine person,
right.
And I would say that like that was, find your daily routine with Plexus. I was a very like, I'm going to reach out to this many people a day. I'm going to message this many. I'm going to send an email, once a week. And I mean, I would have a routine like every day. I don't know if you have a routine around your house. Like every day I get up and I put my load of laundry in and I do the dishwasher and I make coffee and, you have your morning routine. So like my Plexus routine was just a daily routine. And I was like, I get crazy if I don't have my routines going every day. And so I actually, just brought that right into my Plexus business. If I didn't get done what I'd set out to do every day, it bothered me. And so if it's not bothering you, then you don't want it bad enough. I mean, truly, like I believe, like if it's not bothering you to not work your business, then your reason why you're doing it, your goals, your mission probably isn't deep enough. It's probably not driving you enough.
And so Michelle's sitting here. She's a Diamond Ambassador. And, you know, people wonder, well, what's different from one person to the next? And it's not really that there's anything that can't be done or can't be learned. It's that Michelle had that skill and she used it immediately, and that made her go fast. And so we want you guys to go fast. We want you all to learn what you have to learn and do it. But sometimes you come into this and you don't have that skill right off the bat. So what you have to do is go to work to learn the skill, but don't go slow in learning that skill. Don't wait till you have it all perfectly figured out to start trying to use it. You have to start trying to use it pretty much immediately, but just get better at it as you go. Because Plexus is about earning while you learn. Mm-hmm. So just because you don't have it nailed down perfectly and you haven't read 5 books on the subject doesn't mean that you can't start applying it immediately. Yeah. I'll read a sentence and start trying to apply what I learned there.
Yeah.
Okay? So I think that's where we want to go, is just trying to help you guys with some of that stuff that can help you to grow fast. So
okay, did you have anything specific, Kimberly, that you want us to touch on next? Because we could be all over the place. Like, we could preach for hours on this. I mean, like,
you guys are doing awesome. I'm like furiously taking notes here. So I know I have it recording and I could just watch the replay, but I feel like every time you watch something, you kind of learn something different or pull something different away from it. So I'm going to start taking notes right now. So Kelsey and I asked our teams, we came up with 3 questions that we wanted to ask you guys. And it's things that our teams feel like they've struggled with. Okay. So the first one being, how do you get people to events? We tend to have more success on my team. We tend to have more success on online events than we do in person. And so I know the importance of the in-person event. And so I would love for you guys to touch on that a little bit.
Go ahead.
I would say over-invite, and don't expect to just do it through Facebook, face-to-face and invitations, texting, calling, and then don't just rely on them saying yes a week out and then thinking they're going to show up, because they're not going to show up. I mean, I think that the key to getting people to events is, first of all, understanding that nobody wants to be there. Like, none of your friends or family want to come. Like, just, I want you to understand that. First of all, nobody wants to be told about your opportunity. Nobody wants to try the pink drink. And nobody wants to be the prospect. So, like, the quicker you understand that nobody wants it, the easier it's going to be to go to work.
Because you're not going to, first of all, you can't get your feelings hurt.
No.
Never get your feelings hurt.
It's not personal.
And that will allow you to ask more than once. Because sometimes we're afraid to ask because we're afraid of rejection. But if you know that you're probably going to get rejected the first time anyway, then you're going to be ready to ask again with a smile on your face and maybe begging a little bit.
Hey, we are not above bribery. Like, we bribe people to get to events. Like, you come, I'll give you a gift. Picking people up, choosing to make it a date, make it like, hey, I'm going to buy you coffee. You're going to come to a meeting with me. Like, make it something that where they feel like there's like a reason to be there. I would say over-invite. I have a team in West Virginia that they are just like seriously amazing at events. They get people there. They do not mess around. That place, every time we go or every time they have events just themselves, I mean, they have a room full of people.
And promotion is also a key. How you want to promote, and you want to promote often. And you want to use various different methods. I don't know if, you mentioned that we're going to be doing that with Chris and Susie. Well, that's an important thing. We're investing our time to go up to Michigan to do this meeting, and we want to get people there.
Yeah.
So we're not going to waste our opportunity. So we don't just post one time about this, and we don't just do it one way. I actually took the time to create a creative video to get the message out the first time, to make our announcement. And we were making announcements prior to that, hey, we're going to make some really cool announcements. Yeah. So setting it up and using creativity and then following it up with multiple invitations to people, that's called promoting.
Yeah.
Not just inviting, but also promoting, making it sound exciting, and
Yeah.
using your creativity will definitely get a buzz going.
I always use things that create urgency too. Like if we have a local meeting, I would say like, using terms like, hey, I have a challenge to get 3 people to come with me. Like, will you just come? Like, leave your checkbooks at home. Don't even think about buying. I just want you to come with me, be my guest. It's a 1-hour meeting. So setting like expectations for them that they understand, like it's 1 hour. You're challenging yourself. It would really mean a lot if they supported you. Using things like, would you just come check out this that I'm involved in? Will you just come check it out? Give me your opinion. Just give me your opinion on this. People love to feel like they're the expert anyway, so like just give them that. Let them be the expert and see what they think. So hopefully that helps.
Yes, it does. That was awesome. I love that. Okay, so the next one was, how do you expand your network? And you guys can go quickly on these. I know you're on a time crunch, but yeah, how do you expand your network? You feel like you've already talked to everyone, which we obviously know that we haven't talked to everyone that we know, but tips on expanding your network.
Okay, so one thing I just shared on a team call was I had just heard from Emily Roberts. I don't know if any of you follow her, but she's a young diamond, like super amazing to listen to, watch her videos. She's really good. One of the things that she says is that she adds about 30 to 35 new friends on Facebook every week. So the idea of expanding your network is that you are never out of a warm market. You're always meeting new people. You're always, if you're not meeting new people, so like maybe that's the challenge. So Eric Worre has some good, look up some of his stuff. I think it's even in his book or in videos where he talks about become a more interesting person, volunteer, look for opportunities where you can just get around new people. I've recruited 2 moms at concession stands where I worked concession stands for my kids' sports. Look for opportunities where you can volunteer, where you're going to be meeting new people, and then afterwards you can friend request them on Facebook. And then now that you can add them to your prospect list, and so that you can start, commenting on their posts, and that they can start seeing your post. It's kind of just, I think that you expand your network by being on a mission to expand your network, and by being on a mission to connect with lots of new people all the time.
Yeah, being an open and warm person also will give you opportunities. You always want to be that person that people want to hang around. And, so a great book is How to Win Friends and Influence People. And that one will teach you how to make great conversation and connect with people quickly. But I would say that you have to get out to where you can talk to people. So if you feel like you're having trouble expanding your network, it's probably because you're spending too much time in one place. Mm-hmm. And you're not going outside of that place very often. So whether that's home or your job, or maybe you just have a routine of places that you go to, but you don't go outside of that very often, that's a problem, guys. I'm just going to tell you, that's going to be a problem for you. You're going to have to go out to where people are, or else you cannot expand your network.
One of the things from the very beginning, Tim had taken a job in Florida, and so that's where we were when I first started Plexus. But I didn't know anyone. I didn't know a soul there. We knew one person that he got the job from, but that was it. And so how was I to expand my network when I didn't know anybody? So what I did is I went to networking meetings, which I love, like chamber meetings, networking meetings. I did that. And then I also did vendor events. And I networked with all the vendors. It's not about the people that come through the line. It's about the other vendors who already have the entrepreneurial spirit in them. And my second level 1 jewel is someone I met at a vendor event. And so you have no idea where you could possibly meet your next rock star.
Yeah, and other places, obviously, anywhere where your kids might be involved in a sport is an opportunity to meet parents. So get involved with those kind of things. Anywhere where you can go and be a part of a group, be it a church group or, we joined a gym. I became a personal trainer, and now everybody knows who I am. And I'm also good friends with the owners of that gym now, and those gym owners became my ambassadors, and then they're in a network, and now I'm friends now with the people that, in fact, one of the people that were in that network was at Leaders Retreat with us. It was all about expanding our network in order to create that opportunity. Had I not gone to that gym and then become a personal trainer, I would never have had that opportunity.
And you don't have to become a personal trainer. I would have never done that.
No, you don't have to become a personal trainer, but expanding your opportunities sometimes does require you to do something that's going to take a little bit of work and effort, and also is kind of fun too at the same time.
Join a class. There's so much we don't even realize. There's so much potential. We have
pottery classes here in our little town.
Go do some pottery. Go paint some pictures. Go put yourself in a place with people that you don't know.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you guys said that, because I was actually listening to one of Sarah Robbins' networking videos that she did for networking during the holidays. It's one that she did a couple years ago, and she said, accept every invitation. And I thought that was a very big thing, and it kind of has just stuck with me over the last couple of days, because I have one of my ambassadors on this call. She's actually one of my rock stars, and I met her through a girls' night out. And typically I don't do those kind of things. I don't usually go out a lot. And because I went out, I met probably 11 to 15 new girls, friend requested them on Facebook. And I've gained at least 2 ambassadors that are on this call right now from that, which was 2 years ago. But just accepting invitations, I felt like that was a very big thing that stuck with me.
Perfect example, yep.
Next one was, what are your quick tips for getting newbies started right? I know this one could be like a whole huge training, but just something quick if you have anything.
Well, some duplicatable things I've been doing recently is that as soon as I add a new level 1 ambassador, I try to get them on a Zoom right away with my upline. So I get them, because for one, it helps them connect with somebody else in the business. It helps them see big picture. And then my upline gives a little bit of her story. So then, it gives another perspective from the business. So 3-way Zooms with newbies is vital. And then we also try to train every person the same way, whether they're just a product user or whether they're going to run with the business. And so, I think not just assuming that that someone that's just a wholesale user is just going to be a wholesale user. Maybe she just doesn't want to have pressure, but she really wants it. And so helping her to say, hey, let's get on a Zoom. I just want to tell you a little bit about your back office just so you know how to do some stuff, and not making it pressure, but still do the training. So train people the same. And then the third is, and you can say something too, but I'll give you permission to say something. But another thing is just recognizing that there's very few leaders that are going to join your team. And leaders, when I say, is like they'll learn to be leaders, but there's very few natural runners that are going to join your team. Most people that join your team are going to follow the leader, and they're going to do what you tell them to do. And so you need to spoon feed your ambassadors, literally. Tell them the steps. This is the next step. This is the next step. This is the next step. Most people that are leaders sometimes struggle with this because they think, oh my gosh, they should just run and do it like I did. Well, that's very few people are going to just run and do it. I'm just going to tell you that's actually almost nobody is going to just run and do it. You'll have a couple people, but they really do need your guidance. And so follow up and training is just key.
Yeah. I would say too that what we're trying to create, when we say we want duplication, the ultimate thing that we're trying to duplicate is leadership. But as Michelle said, people don't come into this natural leaders. Leaders create momentum, followers jump into the momentum. And maybe eventually some of those followers will become leaders themselves. So what I always try to do in the very beginning, if nothing else, it's the care and attention you give to that person that will have the effect on them.
Yeah.
It's you following up and making phone calls to them to find out how it's going with the products. What kind of questions do they have?
Follow up.
Yeah, what kind of questions they have on the business. And opening the door, saying, okay, so what questions do you have right now? Tell me. And that follow-up right there, even though even though maybe that's not something you're telling them right off the bat, you need to make sure you're following up. You do want to tell them that, but more important than telling them to follow up is you following up with them, because they'll start to duplicate what they see you doing, not just what they hear you saying.
Yeah.
So if you are not following up, do not expect them to be following up.
It's just like, no, I lost my train of thought. I have a little bit of a head cold. Like I've had one head cold in 4 years, and like, it's like this really weird thing. What was I? Oh, you know how like if you have a brand new customer, you really feel like you have to, follow up with them, make sure they're off to the right, if they make sure they get off to the right footing, drinking their water, if they have any candida die-off symptoms, like it's important. That follow-up will make or break them in their success as a customer. Okay, same goes for an ambassador. Your follow-up to help them get off to the business in the right way will make or break whether they're going to be successful with you.
Yeah, I would say it's almost more important to be following up with your new ambassadors than it is your customers, although I think they're both important. I just think it's that vital to the success of a new ambassador that you show them that you're there and that you care about them. So biggest thing I think is key is just continuing everything Michelle said, but always being the one to follow up with them. Eventually, they've got to throw the ball back to you, and if they don't, move on.
Bless and release. But for a little while, at least that first couple of weeks, you gotta be there. You gotta show them that you're there for them. Yeah.
And then if they start responding to that, you've got somebody you can work with. So those would be, I think, a couple of the biggest things. And then one other thing that I would suggest that you all check out. Who's the Emerald for your group?
Kelsey's upline is actually Kelsey. It's Angie and Tim Thomas, right? No, Angie and what's her name?
Thompson.
Yes.
Okay.
Angie and Tim Thompson. See, I'm bad.
Yeah, okay.
And my Sapphire upline is Angie LeBlanc.
Okay. So what I would suggest you do is reach out to those folks and ask them to go to the Jewel page and download the Rock the Pink Fast Track tool, and then upload that to your team pages so that you guys can use that, because what it will tell you is you can actually put a goal in the amount of months that you want to hit that goal, and it will tell you what you need to do to accomplish that goal, how many people you need to add to your team on a monthly basis to accomplish your goal. And so what we were talking about in the very beginning was setting goals. So the first thing you want to do with a new ambassador is help them to set their goals.
Yeah.
So cast the vision. Obviously, I think that people should be shooting to try to reach fast start gold and try to go emerald in a year. That's really what I think people could try to do. But I don't know if we have been aggressive enough to set our goals there. So if you're not aggressive enough to set your goals there, you won't get there.
Yeah.
So
like if you're not pushing towards that kind of stuff, you're not going to inspire others to push towards that.
Yeah. So set your goals and work with your ambassadors to set their goals.
You guys have given us so much awesome information, and I have so many notes written down. I didn't get a big enough piece of paper. I have like a tiny little notebook here. Okay, so we only have like 3 minutes left, and no, we've kept you a little longer than 30 minutes. But I have one more question that was thrown at me, and I hope you could give us a little bit of inspiration off of it. How do you overcome negative family members or friends?
Limit the time you're around them. I mean, obviously you can't do that if it's your spouse. And I would say if it's your spouse, ask for permission to work the business and ask for a certain amount of time. I mean, actually come up with some kind of an agreement if it's your spouse, as far as that goes. I mean, don't you think, as far as like, if your spouse is against you working this, you're going to have a hard time working this. I mean, that's the bottom line. But as far as outside family members, like I've had to go through times where I've had to actually limit my relationship with them. I mean, because like you don't spend Like you
it's
can't.
not about choosing. Let me just say
Yeah.
this. It's not about choosing Plexus over your family.
No.
We're not talking about choosing Plexus over family. What we're really saying to you is that you chose Plexus because of, one, obviously good products, but two, because you want to do something greater with your life.
Yeah.
Okay? I guarantee you that you will not be able to get past a lot of the negativity if you spend too much time around negative people. And so you won't be able to achieve your dreams and your goals if you are spending, you will be like the 5 people that you spend the most, you're going to be the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And so you've got to,
And I have one more thing.
you've got to put yourself in that position, okay?
And the last thing is that, like, if they're just negative towards Plexus, but they're not negative in other ways, just don't talk Plexus around them. Like, we have people that we just don't talk Plexus around, and we still have a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
So don't just base all relationships off of Plexus.
Right.
And you might be able to win them at some point.
Awesome. So much great information. I really, really, really appreciate you guys jumping on with us. I know everyone here had so much, we've all taken so much away from this, and we're going to have this call to share with our teams, and we're really excited about that. And so thank you for kicking off our little jewel calls here. This is so awesome.
You're so
glad
welcome.
We're glad we could do it.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to meeting you guys at convention next year.
Sounds good.
Great.
Awesome. You guys have a great night.
Good night.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.